it's going to look weird today. If the orientation is going to be like, I don't want to work. Ah, fuck. Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. No? Okay. Looks okay. We're looking good. Apart from my hair being all over the place, but I suppose that's part of the... It's part of the shit, isn't it? Oh, I left my hoodie on this time because I don't want to be fucking cold again. Oh, God. Let the people file in. Okay. Down a little bit. Down a little bit. Little bit to the left. A little bit down. A little bit up. Let me see. Okay, seems good. Seems alright. It does. Greetings, my beloved Japanite. Greetings. Okay, this way a bit. No, the other way. Other way. It's facing the other way, you stupid ginger fuck. Oh, nearly nailed it there. I know I'm a little bit OCD with the orientation, but like, I want it to be straight, you know? I like things straight. I don't know about you. It's like tilted a little bit. It'll do. Right, greetings, my beloved Japanite, and welcome to another glorious episode of A Painting Goo. Today, we begin a new goo. What we goo? Nobody knew. Not even me. Having a crew what we will goo. I have a feeling I need to stop drinking coffee. Oh, I've also stopped putting sugar in my coffee. So that's probably why I'm a bit like lethargic right now. I like lie down for a while because I felt like I was going to fall asleep. I've been yawning a lot. Can we see? Yes, Tobias, Boris, Nitnog. Yeah, glorious. See them all in their puffy gloriousness. Right. Okay. Let's get this show on the road. Oh, glorious. Ugh. Sumimasen. Right. We shall begin with a painting goo tune. I don't know why, but part of me just wants to stick on some deliriously heavy metal today. Probably because it'll wake me up a bit. It was nice, like, not seeing the copyright thing on the streams, but like, I don't really give a fuck. Really don't give a fuck. Oh shit. Okay. Right, everything is lined up. Where's Desmondu-sama? Did you literally just drop another playlist? Like they fall. You dropped it. That's hilarious. You literally just dropped a metal thing. That's hilarious. That's so funny. I've been having a lot of like weird syncs. I had a mad sync to like earlier on. Okay. I'm feeling green. Get the bitch wet. A gentle misting. Yeah, I'm a fearing green. I'm a fearing green. My blood, it speaks to you. I could probably afford to make this a little bit wetter. The initial coat should always be quite wet. Not sopping wet, but enough to cause a flow. Yeah, there we go. You got that glue flowing? Oh, getting some drips. Paint cool. I love it. Not a sync, a reaction. Perhaps. Oh, you mean you dropping it? Okay, yeah, good man, yeah. Not a sync, a reaction. Yeah, I had a weird sync earlier on where like I was going down to the social welfare thing because I've been waiting since like last September. To get a response from them and stuff because like I have to be on their system like for some of the community stuff that I'm doing and all, and like I'm like I have no income for like fucking over a year at this stage. Which is like even your one in the social was actually like shocked. She was like, "You've been waiting how long?" And I was just looking at her being like, "Yeah." It's like, "Oh no!" Like so she gave me like this like temporary thing to fill out or some shit. So I filled that out and I sent it off and all. So we'll see what the crack is. It's just as well when I had the money that I bought a fuckload of stuff like paper and supplies and stuff like that. Like because I'd be kind of fucked right now if I didn't. But it is what it is. Like fuck it. There's been a few times the past few months where I was like, oh Jesus, like I'm gonna need to just fucking go get myself a fucking part-time job at least or some shit to keep this stuff flowing. But like, it's like I kept saying, every time I think that, like something pops up, or I get some money, or like somebody asks me to paint something or some shit, like, you know. So it's like literally like fucking God. Every time I had that little bit of doubt that I was like making the wrong decisions, it's like, okay, maybe I do need to just like kind of bite the bullet and fucking go back to the workforce, you know, at least temporarily. Um, something would come up and something be like, no, keep doing what you're doing, like, you know. Um, but yeah, it was pure funny seeing the look on her face and her reaction and all. She was like, "What? You've been waiting since last September?" It's like, "Yeah, tell me about it." But yeah. That's like the sink that I was on about though. I was on my way. I was on my way to the place. Um, and I, like, just as I'm walking along and as I'm thinking about the stuff, um, you know, for some reason I just happened to look to the right, and the door of the house that I was maybe that's why green is in my mind. The door of the house that I was passing at that moment in time was like a deep green, and it had the number 33 on it. Like, it was the door number was 33, and I was just like, that's fucking funny. Like, the one that I just so happened to like turn and look at like has 33 on it. And then I get there, and she was asking me my name, obviously, and so on and so forth. And she, like, the second I said my name, she was like, "Oh, I was looking at your case this morning," and I was like, "How wild is that?" Like, because like of I so the day I happen to have the time because I woke up early enough to go down there was like she was looking at my file this morning. She was like, "Oh, Alex Roach, I was looking at your thing this morning." I was like, "Huh, no way." Um, there's been a lot of that lately where I'm just like, "What the fuck is going on?" Like, you know, it's as per usual. It's just like it's not obviously not like a bad feeling. Like when you get, like, from my experience anyway, when you get it, it does feel like a wink from God that like you're making the right choices, you're on the right path, like, you know, fucking, and it's just like one of those days, like, you know, where a few things are just like lining up and all, and it's just funny, like, you know, it's just one of those days in particular. Like, I've been getting little ones that like may or may, like, you know, you could argue that they're inconsequential or like, you know, fucking whatever. But that one today, I was just like, so the one day I happen to actually come down here, she happens to be looking at my thing that much, and like, not that it was a sink, but it was like almost like divine timing, where the thing that she gave me to fill out, I went to I went to go post it because you have to post it off, like, and literally as I'm walking down to the shop, the postman was like um pulling the post out of the box and putting it in the bag to throw in the van. And like literally as I was walking up, so I was just like, "Yo, like, can you throw this in?" And he was like, "Oh yeah, work away," and opened the bag and I threw it in. Like, it was like everything is just like I'm sure you guys know what I'm talking about, but like you get those days where it feels like you're doing everything at the exact right moment that you're supposed to be doing it in and shit. And I was just like, this is fucking weird. Like, um, not that weird considering for the past like 7 odd years of my life that like that shit has been happening a lot. Um, but still, you know, I don't think I'll ever get used to that. Nor do I think should you get used to it. Because I think you're like, otherwise maybe you wouldn't be like appreciate it. But I'm always really appreciative of little sinks like that where I'm like, fuck. I mean, like, everything's just kind of like working out, you know. Um, and not just like barely working out in a sense of like, I don't know whether my guardian angels are just like, I got you, nigga, don't you worry, you just keep painting. Like, it's good shit though. It's one of those days. I am very tired though. I think somebody mentioned it to me. It was your one Wendy there the other day. That she was like, certain people actually react bad to caffeine, and caffeine actually makes you tired. And I've been drinking coffee, like, or not just drinking coffee, but consuming caffeine in fairly large quantities. These days, not so much. Maybe like the past couple of years. But I used to pound cans of Monster out of it when I was younger, and consume a lot of sugar. So it's been a while, been a long time since I like regularly consumed cans of Monster. But like I still drink like a fair amount of coffee, like, and I haven't researched it or anything. But there was something about it when she said it to me where I was like, do you know what? That actually feels like, sometimes I'll drink a cup of coffee and I start yawning, and I'm like, why don't I feel that, like, jittery fucking, like, oh yeah, I got energy now, like, do you know what I mean? Like, I don't really feel that anymore. So it's like, I think I have one of those like metabolisms where I get used to things like really quickly, and then like the negative effect of that is like, I wouldn't be surprised if I like develop like allergies to stuff like really quickly as well. Um, like I wouldn't be surprised if it's like, there he is, Desmond Osama. I wouldn't be surprised if just like I've put too much of like certain things in my body over the years, that like my body is just like, dude, please stop, fucking shit like that. Um, so like I'm trying to just like drink way more water, fucking like eat more, smoke less. I think I like the other day. I think I only had like fucking 3 cigarettes throughout the whole day, which for me is just like crazy. And it is funny, like, do you know what I mean? Like, what, fucking last year at some point, I just quit cold turkey, start pounding pistachio nuts out of it, like, put fucking 20 pounds on. But you know how it is, like when you have that kind of like, when you have those addictions and you're going through like a bit of a stressful time, which lately I kind of have been. Um, it's much more difficult because your nervous system is like, as far as your nervous system is concerned, it's like, I need this, even though your mind is like, I don't need it, you know. Um, and then I did that like impromptu fucking like nearly 40-hour fast a while ago, and like about 30 hours in, I started to get that like, oh my god, what the fuck is going on? Like I felt like euphoric in a weird way, like I'm up at like 2 o'clock in the fucking morning, just being like, why have I got so much energy? What the fuck? It's like all the fucking all the parasites being killed off in my gut or some shit, like, you know what I mean? Like, or some, I don't know, like, I always think it's funny how um like people like Wendy, like I'd be like having talks with them at the fucking community stuff and all, like, and recently like I was going on a big rant about all the stuff that we talk about and stuff, and some esoteric shit, or like some geopolitical stuff, or like things that like actually turn out to be propaganda and lies and stuff that most people don't know about and all. And you know what I'm like, where like I like connect the dots with loads of things, and I could come across a bit like what people would describe as like ADHD or autistic, or really intense. That's kind of how I would describe it, and that's not me trying to like avoid the. No, I'm not trying to be like, no, I definitely don't have anything, like, it's like, it's genuinely how I feel. I think I'm just like more intense than your average person, because I've been probably through a bit more like psychological shit, like, and trauma and stuff, than your average person, like. um but she said something along the lines of like, the way your mind works is fascinating. And I just started laughing. It's like sometimes I think it's one of the reasons why I love the bear community so much. Is like I feel like for the most part, I feel like I'm surrounded by people who like totally get me, and like I never feel like I never feel like weird around you guys, you know. Um, and I don't necessarily feel, if at all, really weird about around when I'm around most of the people in the community thing. Um, but you can tell that there's an element of like I said, I was like, "Whoa, this guy's a bit intense." Um, it's funny, like I'm still catching up on Owen's streams, and like he said something along the lines of like, "I don't like being around, people who are like low energy and bummed out and all. Like I like being around like really positive, upbeat people and stuff and all." And the thought came into my mind that like for a long time now, I've been around people who are kind of like uh, run down and depressive. And I think because I'm like really fucking empathetic, and like then you take into account the whole uh, like a trait of like traumatized kids is that they're like really hyper aware of shit because you had to be like that around your parents because a fucking big argument could happen at any time or some shit like that. And I think being around like this kind of um, this just the general vibe of like people are annoyed and people are depressed and people are kind of reserved and fucking like reserved in a bad way, like, do you know what I mean, like holding themselves back, like, or something, like not reserved in a good way where they're like conservative or like well mannered. um it's a thing in this country right now, like. But having said that, I think like a lot of the content I've been watching the last few months is probably not affecting my mind in a good way either. Because Ireland's you're starting to see a lot more online stuff on YouTube and Instagram and shit, like where because the pendulum is starting to swing the other way now, and people are starting to get way more nationalistic and way more like openly hating on the Jews, and openly hating on the government and stuff. Like the British government just came out with a thing there the other day. I was watching it on Paul Joseph Watson's Shorts thing. That they're trying to do a thing with their Ofcom network thing, which is solely run by white females. I thought that was so funny. That Ofcom company or whatever that exists in Britain that has like all to do with like the online censor stuff. It's all women. It's all white liberal women, like, which that's never a good thing. Um, where was I going with it? Yeah, WhatsApp. They're trying to lock down WhatsApp so they have access to everybody's private messages, like all the messages they've ever sent ever through WhatsApp. And quite rightly so. A lot of people were pointing out the obvious fucking hypocrisy that it's like, wait, isn't that completely against the whole GDPR thing that they brought in a few years ago? Where it's like, protect your data, and like companies don't like have the right to have access to your data, and like your private data is like, lawfully protected and all this fucking shit. What they're proposing, when did they say? They're like proposing to do it by April of this year. Where they want just like full access to everything, goes completely against that. So like, but I like, from my perspective, it is, and well, I'm not the only one that has this perspective, but the positive thing is that the demons are really starting to get scared. It's very obvious. It's very obvious that the demonic forces are like really starting to get their backs up because they're starting to see that like people are fucking sick of all this shit, like to the point where like a lot of people are like quite literally ready to get up in arms. Loads of nationalistic groups are like, you know, having meetups and stuff like that. There's a growing like utter fucking like not just like borderline hatred, like, you know, like a spiritual hatred for the government, like people are talking less about uh crowds like the fucking, what are they, the UEF and the UN and the EU and the WEF, and you don't see Klaus Schwab and that crowd being mentioned more. Now they're going at their own governments, which is good. Like, do you know what I mean? People are starting to like wake up to the reality of things and all, like, and the energy is starting to get like even more polarized, and the vibrations are getting like higher and shit like that. And like, I'm not taking a piss when I say that. A lot of the time I feel like Yoda, because my nervous system is like so highly like fucking like attuned to that shit. I can fucking feel it. And that's why part of me is like, I should probably stop watching, you know, reaction videos and content that really annoys me. Like, do you know what I mean? Even if it is like I love watching the Hodge twins. I think they're really funny. But man, it boils my blood when I see people who are just like behaving like a bunch of animals, you know? And like there's very little catharsis. There's not enough catharsis going on right now where like it's not like you're seeing animalistic behavior that is dealt with the way most of us would think it should be. Like I'm of the mind that like we should bring back caning, in like public canings and shit. Like, I'd take that job in a heartbeat. Like, you know, some fucking Somali or some shit like that is like trying to touch up 14-year-old girls in the local school or something. You just get to beat the shit out of them in the streets. You see that fucking ICE officer that's like, your one's like giving him a load of shit, and she's like, I went to college and all and blah blah for 7 years, and he's like, oh yeah, I went to high school and I earned 200 grand a year. And it's just like a little thing of a fucking crown and a cigar or a spliff come out of him and all in shades and stuff. Like, it's like, it's on the one side it's really heartwarming to see things shift, but like, you know, the whole thing of like things always get worse before they get better. So my body can feel it, my mind is processing it, and my body can feel it, where I'm just like, it's really heartwarming to know that I'm not alone. But then, because I've been a part of like the bear community and I've been looking at all this esoteric shit and conspiracy stuff for years, I know what's coming, you know? Like, there's no talking our way out of this. There's no voting our way out of this. There's no fucking like, people aren't going, like, especially the, you know, the nature of these like left-leaning woke types is, despite what they may fucking say, they have really low impulse control and they're incredibly violent and fucking aggressive. They're fucking crazy. They're lunatics. So there's gonna be a lot of violence. Obviously they're gonna lose. Obviously, like you know, if you were to pit the two armies in quotes against each other, like, they'd get butchered in a matter of minutes or hours. So it's not like I'm worried about like fucking, oh, what if we lose or some shit? Like, do you know what I mean? It's like, no, like, they've already lost. You know, it's just a matter of time. But yeah, the last few weeks, I'm like, you know, I'm stressed out about other things and stuff that just have been going on for a long time, and fucking, you know, the money situation, stuff like that. On the one hand, things are looking really positive, you know, and like good, which is great. I'm very grateful for, you know. I mean, the other day I even like sat down to eat dinner after cooking it, and I just took a moment to say thank you to God. And I like never do that. You know, I didn't fucking say a prayer or anything. Like, to me, that's praying, you know, just being grateful. I was just like, thank you. Like, but I'm tired. I feel drained. But my dreams have been intense lately. You know, I don't seem to be able to sleep for like a good solid like 8 or 10 hours, which I think my body really needs. But the offset is like, even though I'm only sleep, like I think I only got like 3 or 4 hours sleep there a few days ago, and I woke up and I was like, how do I have this much energy right now? But it's because I'm getting like REM sleep. I'm getting like deep REM sleep. Like the dreams I'm having typically when I wake up, I'm like, Jesus Christ. like, um, so that's probably what it is as well. Is like my body is just going through a lot of like, I'm reducing my caffeine intake. I'm reducing my sugar intake. I'm like fucking drinking more water, way more milk. Um, just like pounding milk and fucking trying to eat more fruit and shit like that. Like, fucking more red meat. Uh, Trying to start the year off with a bang in like many ways now. Like getting out and going back and going for me walks. The one thing I haven't been doing though is like for months now. I haven't been exercising. I haven't been like doing what I was doing for like nearly 3 years when I first moved here. Is like I'd go out, dips, pull-ups, squats, lunges, overhead presses for like 45 minutes or an hour every day or every second day, and like to the point where people started to notice, where it was like, Jesus, like you're bulking up, like um. But I don't think I've worked out in maybe like 6 months now, because my mind has just been like utterly consumed by other shit. Like, so that probably has something to do with it. And I suppose I'm saying all this because like I've noticed when I look at myself, like I'm back to where I was, like visually. I I don't look. I'm not as pale as that white light makes me look. Because I did get worried one day where I was like, "Fuck, do I really look that bad?" And then like I looked in the mirror and I'm like, "Oh no, like I do have like redness in my cheeks and shit." It's just because that thing is like a fucking spotlight on my face, and it's that like shitty, horrible synthetic white light. Um, which basically goes right through my beautiful ginger flesh. Um, but that's more than likely like a big factor. Like, do you know what I mean? Like I've been doing my qigong and shit, for I'm getting really intense with it as well. Like I'd be like pouring sweat and like holding a fucking deep horse stance for like a good like fucking maybe like fucking 40 minutes sometimes. Like, do you know what I mean? Like I'll reset now and again, but I never like come straight up. Like I'm down in like a nearly a full squat with arms stretched out, breathing and pulling my arms back and doing all that, and like all my muscles are fucking tense and can almost feel like my vertebrae realigning and shit, which is good. But like I need to get back into like actually like getting a pump on, like and getting that shit going. And I haven't been doing that. But yeah, like I was saying, it's like I've looked at myself on stream a few times and I'm like, oh, for fuck's sake, I've kind of like I feel like an alcoholic that's like fallen off the wagon, because I was looking healthier and I was looking like fuller and I felt better, and then I just like fucking regressed the last few months. And I think it's good to like not only just like think it and say it to myself, but also like share it with you guys, because that like reinforces it. Do you know what I mean? Where like you guys will say stuff and like whether it be words of encouragement or like words of like get your shit together, bitch. Like, do you know what I mean? Like you need that, you know. And like I don't have a load of like bros around me. Do you know what I mean? Like I wish I had like someone like Sabri Osama or like fucking Desmondu like living close to me that we could like work out with and shit, and like someone who could like you know check me. It was like, dude, like you need to fucking like get your shit together. Like I don't have that here. Like having it online isn't enough. You need people in your life directly to be like on your ass. And I haven't had that since I was like fucking 12, because me when me dad left and all, so like Nobody's told me what to do in a long time, like, you know. And if they did, I told them to go fuck themselves, like. So I need to fucking. It's hard work, you know, being like, you know, like relatively speaking, like if I'm gonna cut myself a bit of slack here, it's like considering the context and considering the situation I'm in. The fact that I'm as disciplined as I am is a fucking miracle. Like, do you know what I mean? But it's exhausting doing it all on your own. It is. It's fucking exhausting. But it does, like, you know, in ways it makes you stronger, you know, mentally. My willpower is like pretty intense. In some ways, you know. Like, obviously I've been fucking smoking again, but like I said, it's just one of those things where like fucking you have that voice in your head screaming at you, being like, well, sometimes, yeah, it's not the one screaming at me. It's the one that's like, you deserve it. Have a cigarette, like. Oh, what's the crack, Larf Haters Club? Welcome back. Welcome back, man. I had a look at some of your stuff. You're good at what you do, bro. You're good at what you do. It's an honor to have you here. It's it can be done. Yeah, bro. It can. It can, like, you know, it's nothing I haven't done already. It's just like, it's one of those things where you're just like, you get tired. And like I said, when you're doing it on your own and you don't have like someone behind you, like being like, you know, keep going or whatever like that, it's a lot easier to like succumb to the voices in your head. But that's no excuse, like, do you know what I mean? It's no excuse. But like I was saying, like, if I was to cut myself a bit of slack, and like I've been told that before by people in my life, they're like, dude, you're way too hard on yourself, like, you know, shit like that. And I'm always like, no, I'm not. You know, I do have a tendency to like be psychologically like very harsh on myself. And it's probably a leftover from me da when I was younger, like fucking I still have so many memories of like I'd draw something and I'd show it to him, and like he would never be like excited or enthusiastic. He would just be critical. like I'd be like fucking 10 or 12 or something coming up to him with a character design. And I spent hours like drawing, like, and he'd just be like, you need to work on your shading. This leg is too long. The angle of the hand is off. And I just remember like at the time you don't notice it, but when you look back when you're older, you're like, what a dickhead. Like if my little boy came up to me with a drawing, even if it was trash, I'd be like, look at you go, bro. But he was always like, you'll have much improvement. Like, do you know what I mean? Like he was like fucking Saruman or some shit, like. So that's probably what it is. Like, you know, there's an element of me that is just like, I beat the shit out of myself in my own head a lot. Like, there's a voice in my head that's like, you know, fucking, you're not doing enough. You need to work harder and blah blah, which is good to a point, you know. But like when you're when your body and your mind genuinely need a rest, it doesn't serve you any good to be like really harsh on yourself, like, you know. Dude, his favorite character was the Vulcans from Star Trek. No lie. Do you know what I mean? Don't get me wrong, I love Spock and fucking what was the black one's name? Tuvok. Tuvok was fucking cool. But yeah, man, he was literally like a fucking Vulcan, like no emotion, like I one of the only times I remember hugging my father is the day he left. Like, I'll give you like some kind of inclination as to the fucking childhood I had. Like, do you know what I mean? I'm there like crying my eyes out, and he's like fucking like just gets on his bike and is like, I'm leaving. You know, my ma's going ape shit and all. Like, fucking my 5-year-old sister doesn't know what the fuck is going on. And I'm like, clutching him around the waist, and he's like, you will be okay. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and like, don't get me wrong, like, you know, like, even, which is kind of crazy when you think about it, but I suppose it's like, you could argue that it's a sign that, like, I'm very forgiving. I'm too fucking forgiving in a lot of ways, but like, I know that in a lot of ways he was like that and he is like that because of how fucked up his upbringing was, you know. Like that, in a lot of ways, that's what it is. It's like the sins of the father, like, you know, they get passed down to you and shit. Like, and I'll tell you something for nothing. My dad had a lot of fucking darkness in him, like. But yeah, lately I've been like, that's probably why I just want to listen to a lot of metal lately. Is like I really like the playlists like Nematode and stuff that Printer Bear made. Like, you know, like I like listening to, like, one of my favorite songs is Ocean Eyes by Billie Eilish. I think it's like such a super chilled tune, and she's got such a beautiful voice and all this fucking shit. Like, or like Streets by Doja Cat. Like, you know, like I like some really like very mainstream, you know, girly shit. Like, you know, but there's always that part of me that, like, if I need to get my engine revved up and going, it's like fucking I need some fucking war music. Like, FYI, I showed Pin Leg to my boys and they loved it. Oh, that's awesome, man. That's awesome. Fuck it, like that brings me a lot of joy. Like, I did, like, I've spoken about that before. Like, again, only recently, where like I have a feeling that, like, I literally only thought about this before the stream. Every time I go to start the stream, it gives you that option where it's like, is this made for kids? And it's like yes or no. And I'm like, sure, I curse, and sure, like, I can say like sexual stuff and all, like, you know, which obviously you shouldn't be around kids if you're gonna like talk about stuff like that. But compared to some of the crap that's out there, like Mr. Beast and all these YouTube videos and like Coco Melon and all these like fucking borderline pedophilic fucking pederast channels and all this like fucking psycho propaganda shit, Painting Goo is like fucking not that bad. Like, I wish you could select a teenager option. Do you know what I mean? Because like I wouldn't want any of my content being shown to like kids. But like, I was like playing and watching 18's fucking rated shit when I was like fucking 14, 15, you know, like literally one of my, like, not that this is a good thing and like this has nothing to do with what I was just saying, but like, you guys know that, like, I've said it a few times, one of my earliest memories, and my mother corrected me a while ago because I was like asking her about things. I used to say I was like 2 or 3 because that's what age I thought I was when we were still living in our first house in Clondalkin. But I was 4 years old, sitting in between my mother and my father on a sofa, and one of my earliest memories is watching Conan the Barbarian, and one of my earliest memories is watching Conan fuck the witch and then throw her in a fire when she tries to kill him. And then he also fucks the slave girl, like, you know, when he's still like a warrior on that wheel thing, like they're just handing him slave girls to fuck and shit, like, and he's like very gentle with her and shit, like he like wraps her, he like, because she's like terrified of him, and he like wraps a fucking fur coat around her or some shit, like my mind was like jacked from a young age, like, do you know what I mean? And obviously I know I'm not the only one, like most of us are like fucked in the head for so many reasons, like. But every time I talk to people and I tell them about my like early life, they're like, dude, what the fuck? You know, like, and I'm just like, yeah, right, you know, I'm not like I'm not wrong. You know, like, throwing a shuriken above your toddler's head to make a point is probably not good parenting. Like fuck. That's what, like, sometimes I'm like, you really need to like cut yourself some slack. You know what I mean? Like, the fact that you are the guy that you are, and the fact that you've made it this far, And the fact that you made the choices that you made, like, considering what you've been through, is like, just relax. Take a breath. Paint something cute and funny. Like, hurt people, as they say. Yeah, man. Do you know what I mean? Which is like, I've like made like a vow on like so many times that like when I eventually do have kids, oh man, I get like all like teary eyed thinking about it, where I'm like, I like would never do half the shit that like say or do or behave in ways like 80% of the shit that my dad did to me, like, and I'm not saying like he wasn't like a fucking horrible dude, earned a good wage, paid for everything. I was warm, I had clean clothes, I got a decent education, like all of those things, like, but there was a load of things that like really fucked me up. And I forgave him because I know that like he didn't know any better, you know. He really didn't know any better, like, And that's the case in a lot of ways, where like they're doing the best they can. Like Jesse Lee Peterson was like, have you forgiven your mother? Have you forgiven your mother? Like, it took me fucking years to do that, Don't get me wrong. I had really good justifications as to why it took me so long to forgive my mother. But, yeah, it's one of those things where, like, lately, they say you keep grief in your lungs. And, like, I think I'm really feeling that a lot lately. The grief of, like, all the horrible shit that's going on in the realm right now. And then at the same time, I'm, like, processing like years of like shit that I didn't process because I spent like 15 odd years just like smoking weed I was high every fucking day for like 15 years. Every day. Apart from like 1 year where I went off it for like a few months. Other than that, I was fucking blasted off my head and like literally wake and bake like fucking clockwork for years. And don't get me wrong, I don't think weed's that even bad of a drug. Like, I love the devil's lettuce. It's fucking, it's a like, relatively speaking, compared to like cocaine, heroin, fucking, even alcohol. Like, do you mean, like, if whenever I do eventually have kids, if my kid ends up smoking a bit of ganj, I'm gonna be like, just be careful. Do you know what I mean? I'll be way more worried if he starts drinking a lot. That's just like, from my experience, that's my opinion. But at the same time, like, having said all that, it's like, yeah, I mean, being fucking blasted off your face every fucking day for 15 years, and not necessarily because you just love getting high. Like, it wasn't. I know it wasn't, because I'm like, you guys know me. I'm like fucking almost like stupidly honest sometimes. It wasn't because I love getting high. I did love getting high. Shit's funnier when you're high. Food tastes better when you're high. Sex is better. Like, everything's better when you're high. But when you're not actually getting high and you're just maintaining, and you know that the only reason that you started smoking in the first place is because you were hanging around with the wrong people and you did not want to deal with all the shit in your head, it's not a good way to be, like, It's not a good way to be at all. But I'd never, like, I don't blame weed, I think weed's great. I think, like, fucking, like, similar to, like, again, like, small doses of alcohol can be good for you depending on what kind of alcohol you're talking about. Like, do you know what I mean? It's like, just like smoking tobacco. Like, tobacco can be good for the digestion, good for the nervous system, all this stuff. Like, but like, when you're dealing with things that drastically alter your mental state and drastically alter your like physical chemical makeup in like minutes or seconds, you shouldn't be doing that a lot. You shouldn't be doing it, definitely not all the time. Like, Like, a lot of the time, I fucking thank God that I was never really big into, like, I fucking hated beer. I didn't like beer at all. Made me gassy. Tastes like piss. Even the good ones. I gotta admit though, Guinness is fucking lovely. Guinness is amazing. Guinness is like liquid dinner. I know there's all sorts of fucking stories of like, you know, my nanny had a fucking pint of Guinness every night until she was 82. Like there's benefits to that shit. Like they say, like, you know, having a small glass of red wine in the evening can like really help your blood flow. You know, fucking help you relax, get better sleep, and all sorts of stuff. Like that's why, like, I really like that saying, all things in moderation, including moderation. You know, I think that, like, as far as sayings goes, it's like one of the best sayings where it's like, you want to really explore like every avenue of what it is to be alive and be a human being, but you also need to like be. That's why you need good parents. That's why good parents are like so important. They're supposed to pattern the left and right side of your brain. They're supposed to, like, you know, show you the male and the female parts of like fucking life and shit. Like, you know, as a boy, like, you know, you need to be, you know, gentle and caring and compassionate towards females, but you also need to be like competitive and like that kind of brotherly love with like other males and stuff and all. And then as a female, you need to like respect the power of males, because they're really, like, if you're a female, males are like really fucking dangerous potentially, you know. Like these fucking women who don't fear men, and they like, you know, step all over men, shit all over men, like these fucking, what do they call them? A man who shits all over women or hates women is a misogynist. What's the other one? Misanthropist? Misanthropy? There's a fuckload of that going around right now in the West, where you have all these bitches who just have no respect for men. And it's dangerous. It's fucking dangerous. That's why I love that clip of Sean Connery, like, when you're once like, would you consider yourself a chauvinist and all? Like, you've said before that you think it's okay to slap women, and he's like, well, it's completely depends on the context, but yes, I like do believe if you've explored every avenue, if like she won't listen to you, she's not listening to reason, she's being emotionally provocative, and she won't let things lie, and she won't give you a moment's peace, then it's just like, bitch, shut up. You know, like, and it's like, it's true, because like, especially today, a lot of grown ass women, look, that's what they're supposed to be, grown ass women, act like fucking toddlers. You know, entitled, no shame, no respect, no sense of honor, or fucking accountability. You know, they don't know fucking, they don't know when to fucking like quit when they're ahead. Like, do you know what I mean? And don't get me wrong, like, I'm the furthest thing from a fucking misogynist. I love bitches. And I know it's hilarious to say. I always make sure to say it that way. Because you know what I mean. You know, like, I love bitches. But they can be bitches. Like, it's just, there's so much shit going on right now. And I do, like I said, like, I quite often feel like Yoda sitting in the Jedi temple, just with his eyes closed, just like feeling it all, and just being like, fuck me, like, people need to relax, like, because it's like most people are really ignorant to like how bad things can really get. Like, people have like, we've more or less had peace, you know, in the West for like more than like nearly 100 years now. People don't know how bad things can get. People don't know that, like, you know, like the horrors of like a group of men showing up at your door and like beating the fuck out of you, holding you down, and like making you watch while they fuck your missus. Like, it's like, people don't know how bad it can get when people don't behave right. Do you know what I mean? Like, when you behave like a bunch of animals, you will get treated like a bunch of animals, or you will get treated like a bunch of children, until you get treated like a bunch of animals. And there's so many people out there that will bitch, scream, cry, and like, you know, fucking have a tantrum like a toddler. And they did it to themselves. You know? They fucking did it to themselves, like. And that's where I get fucked up, because I have that like savior complex. I have that fucking like empathy savior complex where I'm like, oh, we need to like. It's like the reverse polarity of that bitch from The Simpsons. Like, won't somebody please think of the children? Like sometimes I'm like, we need to do something. We need to help these people. We need to stop this shit. Like, and it's like, you can't. Everybody's responsible for their own fucking will. Like everybody's responsible for their own fucking mistakes. Like karma's catching up on people like a bitch. And that's why I feel so like, you know, like that's why I feel so conflicted, because on the one hand, I feel incredibly blessed and I'm like at peace with so many things. And I do have the ability to like sleep like a fucking baby, because I keep getting little winks from God where he's like, you know, he's like, dude, you're doing okay. Just keep going. But around me, I just see like pain, misery, tragedy, fucking like, and I know those things are always present. But to the degree that they are right now, fuck me, like people just, oh God, like a lot of people have no idea what's coming down the pipeline, you know? And that's why, like, I'm so grateful to Owen and the bear community for like putting the effort in to like just spit truth, spit facts constantly, like, do you know what I mean? And just be like, this is what's gonna happen if you don't fucking wake up and start making better decisions. This is gonna happen, then this is gonna happen, then this is gonna happen. Like, and people like us have had the like, you know, how do I describe it? The sense, the humility, the lack of ego. People like us have had the lack of ego to be like, fuck, he's right. You know, I need to start like really taking some things like very seriously, like, because if I don't, things are going to be like so bad in like 10 years. It's fucking wild, man. It's absolutely wild. Like, you know, things are fucked when it takes your government like months to respond to a letter, you know, because they're too busy letting in all the foreigners so they can get them to vote and make money off them, while they're handing them a load of free fucking money. Like, it's fucking crazy. Elon, yeah, I like, you know, fucking shout out to Elon for just like keeping X, you know, the way it's been. Like, that's another thing that like the British fucking government and our government, the British and Irish governments have turned around and been like, we might need to ban X. Why? Because everybody realizes how much of a bunch of lying, hypocritic fucking pile of demon snakes you are. That's the reason. They're always like, you know, think of the children with the whole fucking like, it's to stop AI child porn. It's to stop, you know, like these like horrific AI images. It's like, would you give it a fucking rest? Everyone with a fucking brain cell knows that the only reason you want to ban X is because that's the only fucking place you can see unfiltered real shit for the most part. Don't get me wrong. I'd say the dark web, or like fucking, I don't know, like fucking used to be like 4chan and shit or some shit, but sure, that crashed a while ago. Like, there's almost no place on the internet now where you can go as a grown adult and just look at the unfiltered reality of life. You know? YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, fucking all of these fucking things. Even Rumble, like, Jimmy, are all like, you know, just looking at the world through rose-colored glasses. And you know who all those fucking, like, think of all the people that you've seen in your life in the media over the years actually wearing rose-colored glasses. Jimmy Savile, Bono from U2. Do you know what I mean? It's like, it's always the same fucking demon princes actually wearing the rose-colored glasses. Like, what does that fucking tell you? Like, it's like, it's so ridiculous. Like, And I know I sound fucking intense. You know, I got a lot of like pent up shit and all like, but that doesn't mean that like only the other day I was like very like calm and like, you know, fucking grateful and like super thankful that like I have obviously got a few people around me in this little town that are like very similar to me, where they're fucking sick to death of all the woke shit. They're fucking like, you know, calling out hypocrisy. That's so important right now. One of the most important things right now is for people to just at least, even if you're not going to be like controversial or, you know, saying like spitting proper truth, please, at least for the love of fucking God, just call out hypocrisy when you see it. You know, it's so important right now. Like, you really do have to just at least call out hypocrisy when you see it. If you see two things, if you see these fucking demon politicians like doing the fucking basically the equivalent of girl math, where it's like, well, I'm entitled to this and men should do this and no. It's like, so on the one hand, you're claiming to be progressive and inclusive and diverse and like, you know, interested in sustainability and all of these really nice sounding things. But on the other hand, everything you're doing is making everything worse for everyone but you guys in your ivory towers and your separated fucking like top of the pyramid bullshit where the rich get richer and the poor get poorer. And I know handing people a load of free money isn't going to fucking solve anything, you know what I mean? But you can at least hand them a fucking, you know, hot meal in a fucking sleeping bag instead of putting fucking spikes down so homeless people can't sleep on benches. Like, they're fucking homeless. That's the point in making it worse. It's just, oh, that shit boils my blood, like, do you know what I mean? Like, that shit fucking boils my blood, like. Absolutely boils my fucking blood when you see shit like that. Like, you're gonna make it more difficult for people who are like at the bottom of the barrel. Who the fuck does that? You make it more difficult for the elite. The elite are the ones that are supposed to like thrive under pressure, welcome challenges, you know, constantly be growing and getting stronger. The elite are supposed to be the elite, the best of the best, the paragons of society, like, do you know what I mean? But the elite that we've had for like 80 odd years now are a bunch of fucking Jabba the Hutt looking motherfuckers who are fucking kids while telling you to use your kettle less because of the fucking climate. Absolute fucking bullshit is what it is, like. And before anyone like it's like, oh, he's going off on one today because like something bad happened. It didn't. I'm trying to smoke less and I'm trying to drink less caffeine, and there's so much shit going on, and like I have a lot of things going on in my life right now, so like I'm a bit like pent up. But nothing I'm saying is fucking wrong. Well, I don't know. Maybe some of the shit I've said is wrong. But as Owen would say, I'm not fucking lying, you know? And now I need to make more green paint. And I need a drink. Because of all this ranting. A lot of people are in for a reality bath that will feel like acid on their very being. Yeah, like, but that's what I was saying. Yeah, like, it is, like, so, like, millions. Not just like hundreds or thousands or hundreds of thousands, millions of people are going to get a fucking karmic slap in the mouth in the next, like, it could be months. If the governments, like the British government keep pushing it the way they're pushing it, like, you could easily make the argument that, like, instead of being a bunch of fucking, you know, Satan worshipping fucking pedophiles, a lot of these cunts might just be accelerationists. Do you know what I mean? Like, and that's like that'd be to a certain degree that might even be worse. Like, do you know, like, because a lot of the time I get the feeling it's like, are they really that disconnected and oblivious and stupid, or do they know exactly what they're doing? Because it's not like, because the stuff they're doing is like incredibly effective. You know? Like, if your goal is to get a load of people really pent up so they want to go to war, and you're fucking doing a great job right now. Do you know? Like, like, what's the matter? You didn't kill enough people with the fucking COVID vaccines. Now you just like, nah. We need a World War III. Sorry, guys. The safe and effective vaccines didn't kill enough of your kids and the old people. So like, and Winter's not doing a good enough job because technology. Like, so we need another war. Like. I'm telling you now, you try to fucking draft anyone in Europe, it's not going to go well for you. You know what I mean? None of these people want to fight for you, like. Fucking joke. People were way more patriotic in the past. Not to mention, way more people used to believe in God. Right now, you have a bunch of fucking apathetic, atheistic psychopaths. Like you have all the people who are like members of the elite, that are like apathetic atheistic. Well, they're probably not atheistic because a lot of them are probably fucking Satan worshippers. But like, it's bad, man. Like we're in a bad spot right now, collectively. Do you know what I mean? Like, not just Europe, not just the West. Like, and it's not like Russia's doing great either. Like, do you know what I mean? It's like, don't get me wrong. In a lot of ways, there's a part of me that would prefer to be in like Japan or fucking Russia or some shit like that, like, for loads of reasons. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, I mean, you don't build a military church like that and not have like some awareness of like what is morally right. Do you know what I mean? You don't create art like that and you're a fucking like psychopathic demon worshipper. Like, do you know what I mean? Maybe. I don't know. I mean, I'm sure there's some people out there that's like, they're fucking utter fucking demons, but like they just happen to be really good at painting or something. I don't fucking know. But like, typically, I saw that military church, but like Desmond Sama sent me the fucking sent me that link to the new military church that they built like in some pine forest in fucking Russia. That's one of the most epic things I've seen in my entire life. The thing is made out of the metal of fucking Nazi tanks that were destroyed during World War II. That is some based shit. That is some of the most base shit I've ever seen in my life. What are we going to make it out of? It's like, fucking... like, hold my beer. like, hold my vodka. Like... That is some of the most insanely base shit I've seen in a long time. Like, it's incredible. Do you know what I think? Like the world. Like, do you know what I think the public like really need right now? Apart from like more people like Owen, we need a Steve Irwin. Like, that's what the world needs right now. Like, the world got darker when Steve Irwin got killed by a stingray. I swear to God. I'm convinced God, like, brought him home because he was, like, too good or something. Or, I don't know, maybe, like, Satan made the stingray kill him or something. Like, it's like, the world got darker when Steve Irwin died. Like, we need people like that. We need people that like remind people why life is beautiful. You shouldn't be afraid of things. You should respect things. You shouldn't be afraid of nature. You shouldn't fear nature. You should show it reverence and respect. It is part of the creation. I'd love nothing more than to have the fucking money than to like go on loads of like nature fucking like and then paint the stuff that I see. Like I'd fucking love to like I said the other day, I've said it loads of times, like I'd love to go like diving with sharks. I'd love to like go deep into the Amazon and like fucking wrangle an anaconda and shit. Like I wish my government actually gave a damn and used its power to help the people of Europe. I'm not against regime change if it's justified. Unfortunately, you guys will have to sort it out yourselves. Yeah, but like, as it should be. Like, sure, some help would be nice, but like, man, like, we did this to ourselves. I'm not the type of guy to be like, oh, it's the government's fault. It's like it's all the pet. Like, yes, they're fucking demons and they're horrible bastards. But I'm so it was like what I was talking. Like, the thing that actually really boils my blood is seeing a woman getting her like handbag robbed, like in broad daylight in France, and nobody does anything. That's what really boils my, like, your society is like is a sitting fucking duck for fucked up shit when men don't do like the most basic chivalrous stuff. Do you know what I mean? It's like the fact that like some Somali prick can just try and like sexually assault a teenager, or fucking even like talk to like a 14-year-old girl outside of school or whatever, like just has obviously like fucked up intent, or like when they're trying to steal some shit, or you see all these fucking like inner city blacks in America just like, and they do it in England too. They just walk into a store with a black bag and start robbing shit and walk out, and nobody does anything. Like, shoot that fucker in the head. Where's the fucking old school cowboy shit where it's like, what the fuck do you think you're doing? Bang, 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 bang. And like, everybody be like, drag his corpse into the streets and fucking let the crows eat him. Fuck him. Like, do you know what I mean? We used to hang people like that. And people used to be like, yeah, fuck that prick. Like, do you know what I mean? Now it's all like, now criminals have rights and shit. Don't get me wrong. I know there's like a certain degree of like, you can't just like completely dehumanize people. Like, but like I said, act like an animal, get treated like an animal. Do you know what I mean? If you're not going to act like a fucking civilized human being, and I know the word civilized is a bit like, there's some wizard shit going on there. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, I get it. But like, these people have no semblance of like what a functioning society is supposed to behave like. And when they're acting like that, they're chimping out and they're doing all this wild shit, and everyone's just like, or with their phones, like, just like, oh no, look at how bad things have got. Like, fucking do something. Jesus. Oh, it's so frustrating. It's so mind-blowingly frustrating. Mossad sent that it is pretty funny to just blame the Zionists and the Israelis all the time, because like they've got their tentacles are in so much shit. It's not even funny, but like Mossad sent that stingray is fucking hilarious. Like, it's like you go back and study the fucking you go back and study the footage of like Steve Irwin diving around that stingray and all, and then like there's like a big conspiracy of like there's like an antenna hanging out with the back of the stingray, and they're like, look, it's like that meme of fucking Leonardo DiCaprio. It's like, look, there it is. Those fucking Israelis. They fucking they had a remote control stingray. Mossad killed Steve Irwin. Mossad got Harambe too. Oh man, that's fucking hilarious. What was the crack with the Harambe thing again? Wasn't that the gorilla that actually protected the kid? Like, the kid fell into the zoo and like it was like a big silverback was just like minding him. Like, it wasn't like fucking him up or anything, like, and they shot him. I barely remember that. Didn't they justify it by saying that if they'd have shot him with a tranquilizer, he might have like freaked out and hurt the child and all? What a crock of shit. What a crock of shit. like animals are like far more sophisticated than most people understand. It's one of the reasons why I'm like, we need another Steve Irwin. Like, do you know what I mean? It's like there's so many videos of him like playing with like literally playing with animals that people would be like terrified of, and he's like, look, it's chill. As long as you're chill, it's chill. Obviously, it's very dangerous, but like, you guys have guns in your homes. There's guys in factories that like work with machinery that can like take your fucking arm off or your head off, or like there's guys that work in molten steel factories. It's like being around dangerous shit is not a prerequisite to like just be terrified of it all the time. Like, what the fuck? Like, prove me wrong. You don't kill a snake by chopping off its tail. Yeah, I know. But even when you chop off a snake's head, you want to be really careful. You don't want to go near the head. Remember seeing that years ago. Or like if you like lop a fucking snake's head off and it still has the ability to fucking like the nervous system still has the ability to bite down and all, like there's so many things in nature that are like just true, and you can like take the lesson from that and impart it into your life, where it's like, you know, just like shit like that, like, you know, it's like you don't kill a snake by cutting off its tail. Like, too fucking right. Like, cut off the fucking thing's head and it's dead. But you still need to be really fucking careful. Like, do you know what I mean? No, Harambe got rough with the kid. It was a fair cop. Yeah, like I said, I don't really remember the situation. I just remember it being like a big meme for ages. Like, but yeah, like it's like I'd have to. I don't really have an opinion on that situation. Like, I'd have to go back and watch it for myself, and then, you know, whatever. Obviously, it's never a nice thing when you see like, especially something like a silverback and all. Like, it's not even. I don't even like see. Like, I don't like zoos. You know, I'm not a fan of zoos. You want to go see some wild shit? Go to the wild. You know. That's the way it should be. You want to see the wild shit? Go into the wild. That's what I want to do. I'm like, I want to fucking go diving with sharks and stuff, and fucking like if I ever got the opportunity and I had the fucking money, I would fucking love to, and it would scare the fuck out of me. It'd be so risky. It'd be so fucking scary. But like, I would love to get in one of those like deep sea submarine, like those explorative things with the arms and shit. And I'd love to go down with like a science crew or something, like a ride along or something with a load of biologists or some shit like that. And I'd love to go like way down, you know, and see some like giant squids and stuff and all, and fucking like some mad shit, like, you know. That'd be fucking terrifying, like. Like, that's what I always thought was funny. Like, don't get me wrong, I like space. Space is cool, but loads of it's fake and gay, and they've lied about loads of shit. But like, when you want to talk about like I would literally rather go trekking through the Amazon, obviously with a guide or some shit. I'd want to be well armed. I'd want to be well equipped, and like, fucking like, I'd want to be well armed and I want to be well equipped. But like, I would rather go into the Amazon jungle than, like, if you gave me the option, like, do you know what I mean, of just like throwing me in there, like, fuck that, I'll go into the Amazon, because like the ocean, the depths of the ocean, like even being on top of the ocean is like fucking terrifying depending on what conditions it is. Do you ever see them videos of these like huge fucking you know those ships that carry all the fucking shipping containers, those like massive container ships, and the fucking thing is like just it's going like this, it's nearly going vertical, and there's just these 200-300 foot waves and lightning and fucking like 300-mile-an-hour winds and shit, and you're just like, Jesus Christ, like, it's fucking terrifying, like. Like, just on the surface, never mind the fucking depths, like, but I'd love it. I'd like, part of me would just be like, oh my god, this is so cool. Like, like you just see something swim past. Like, imagine seeing a sucker, like, or a tentacle just like roll past the submarine and it's like fucking huge. Like, Jimmy, you'd be like, oh my god, like, it'd be fucking intense, man. There's a time for a phrase. Oh, Jesus, the time for a phrase was fucking 20 minutes ago. I've been ranting for ages. Um, I'm not holding that bag with you, fuck a sub. Yeah, man, I know. I completely understand. But like, I just like, I've always wanted to like, like I want to go see China. I want to go to see Japan. I want to go see Egypt. I want to like the realm is so fucking incredible and beautiful, and there's all these things I want to see with my own eyes that I've only ever seen through a screen. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, I'd love to go see someone like I think it's in the Amazon. I'm not sure. It could be actually in one of the jungles in Latin America, like Cuba or some shit. But they found this fucking tree or like a statue that looks like a giant snake that was like petrified. Like, it's either an incredibly detailed sculpture that's like thousands of years old, or it's like a petrified snake from like hundreds of years ago or thousands of years ago or some shit. Like they came across this thing and they were like, what the fuck? Like, it's incredible looking. The scales on it are like this fucking big or something. Like, it's like when you find one of them shark's teeth that's like the fucking size of like absolutely crazy. Like a great white's teeth. I don't know, fucking like a great white's tooth is like, I think, like roughly that big. You know? It's like they're like, they're fucking big, but they're not like huge. But they found teeth that are like, not far off the size of a fucking dinner plate. So imagine the size of the shark or whatever the fuck it is that came from. Like, you know what I mean? It's just the depths of the ocean are just like, that's what I was saying about space and all. It's like, fuck space. Fuck space. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, here, the most amazing shit you'll ever. They find new species all the time. It's incredible. Like, there's like, they find new shit all the fucking time. They're like, we didn't know this was here. Like, it's like, well, how the fuck could you? What are you gonna do? Like, like, don't get me wrong. I probably would. Like, if I had the resources and the money, I wouldn't be doing all this fucking like. They have the money to carve a fucking path through the Amazon jungle to hold a fucking meeting about climate change. Well, then why don't you have like? You'd think you'd be spending all that money to like get a bunch of like highly trained, really dangerous motherfuckers with guns and shit to escort the best biologists and archaeologists and scientists in general, escort them through the places that we've never been to, or like fuck all people have ever been to. Like, you get some heavily armed niggas and escort the greatest minds of our generation into the depths of the areas that we never go to, and like really find the shit. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, you remember that guy that went down in the submarine and he got the arm of the submarine and poked. There was a pool of water at the bottom of the ocean. Like, he said it looked like jelly or something. Like, do you know what I mean? And like, man, like the amount of shit that like nobody knows about. Everybody's always like, oh, George Floyd, Black Lives Matter, fucking like women's rights. It's like, fuck off. I want to see some giants. I want to I want to see some fucking 10,000-year-old texts and tablets and shit from God knows when. Like, that's the real shit. Nobody knows who we are, where we come from, what the fuck is going on. Everyone's lying about fucking everything just to hold on to the soft, paper-thin fucking power that they fucking have, like, Oh, cowards. And don't get me wrong. I know there is a degree of truth to the whole thing of, like, you can't let everyone know this because the wrong people will get a hold of it and do some fucked up shit. But, like, that's not an excuse, That's the same fucking shit that Keir Starmer in Britain is talking about. We're like, well, we need to get rid of all this porn. What, says the faggot who rents little boys out? I don't know that for a fact, but like, really wouldn't surprise me. Like, anyway, it's time for today's phrase of the day. With the help of my feathery friend Tobias Speakus Crowis, I shall announce today's phrase of the day. With the ding of my tiny donga, I send cleansing vibrations through the interwebs to cleanse you filthy mortals of your dirty, filthy chi, and allow it to flow freely. Where is my phraser? Today's phrase of the day is as follows. RoboCop is a movie about a man who died and was forced to go to work anyway. That's one of the funniest ones in a while, in my opinion. That made me piss myself earlier when you sent it to me. RoboCop is a movie about a man who died and was forced to go to work anyway. That is so fucking true. And like, I texted him back and I was like, also, died is a fucking understatement. like they fuck his shit up. Like, that's one of the most over the top deaths in anything ever, is when like I can't even remember his real name. I can't remember his real well, not his real name. I can't remember the character's name. What's RoboCop's name before he becomes RoboCop? I can't remember. Put it in the chat. Murphy. No, Murphy's his partner. I can't fucking remember now. One of you will put it in the chat. Fuck it. The fucking is it Murphy? Is it Murphy? Well, I thought for a second there I thought Murphy was his partner. It is Murphy, yeah. But yeah, like that dude got fucking destroyed by like multiple fucking like boom, 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 like. And the fact that he's on his knees and they shoot him and he's like, oh, and they're just like unloading on him, and like peak 80s fucking, like, that wasn't the 80s, wasn't it? Or was it 70s? I don't know. I was born in the 90s. So like, oh man, what a movie. The second one is good too. I like RoboCop 2. But RoboCop 1 is fucking like, it's got so many like iconic scenes in it. When your man like falls out the back of the van after getting all the acid poured on him, and he's like, oh, his fucking fingers like hanging down here. Like, I remember seeing that for the first time. I was like, oh Jesus! Like, oh, is it in the first one or the second one where the walker robot thing falls down the stairs? Is that the first one or the second one? I can't remember. I need to watch those movies again, man. Fucking RoboCop 1, RoboCop 2, Predator 2. I don't care what anyone said. It says Predator 2 is just as good as Predator 1. I know Predator 1 is like amazing and completely different and iconic for all sorts of reasons, but so is Predator 2. Predator 2 is fucking hilarious for all sorts of really dark humor reasons. Like that fucking King Willie. The Rastafarians and shit, like King Willie. Fucking like, I tell you what I believe. Shit happens. Like fucking fucking Danny Glover getting into the limo and you want some ganja, man? Like, oh man. I suppose you could argue that some of the action scenes in the first one are a bit better. But just the shit that happens in 2 is fucking deadly, like. Yeah, man, I haven't watched movies. I haven't even finished Samurai Jack, and I haven't been reading the books I was reading for like weeks. I've just been so enamored by like other shit. Like, um, yeah, yeah. The remake of RoboCop was pretty cool. I like that guy, the guy who played RoboCop in the remake. Do you guys see that TV series on Netflix, Altered Carbon? Man, some serious fucking gravy in that. Altered Carbon is really cool. But don't get me wrong, it gets a bit woke and gay. Like the idea of that black female being like this amazing fighter and leader of a rebellion. What a lot of shite. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, I don't care what anyone says. I know women can be good fighters, but there is no way in hell a woman is a good enough of a fighter to have a load of lads around her, like following her. Like, I mean, it's like, it just makes no fucking sense. Anybody who knows history or real world, like, fighting shit, like most of them anyway, don't get me wrong, some of them are fucking delusional as fuck, but like most rational minded professional fighter women will admit at the drop of a hat that they wouldn't last 30 fucking seconds against a man of equal caliber. Do you know what I mean? Like, yes, you could get Valentina Shevchenko. Valentina Shevchenko would probably kick the shit out of me if it was just a striking match. If I wasn't allowed to grab a hold of her and just start like fucking crushing her, she'd probably kick the head off me. Totally. Do you know what I mean? She's really like amazing at kickboxing, all sorts of shit. But like the threat disparity, the fucking strength disparity, the fucking like men are so overwhelmingly stronger than women that it's kind of ridiculous. Do you know what I mean? But it makes perfect sense because it's like if you were God and you were creating man and woman, it's like, okay, this guy's gonna go out of the cave and take on a bear or go kill a deer. So he needs to be built like this. She's gonna give birth to kids and like be very nurturing and stuff, and also needs to be beautiful so that the man wants to fuck her. So she's gonna look like this. Like the idea that you could get a woman who's like fucking like so battle hardened and all this fucking shit that a bunch of lads who are also battle hardened would be like, yeah, I'm gonna follow her. Fuck off. But anyway, despite that, Altered Carbon is very pornographic. It's like really fucking violent, but it's fucking awesome. It's like really cool. The world building, the acting, the graphics, special effects, just the scene to scene, like the way it's shot, the way it's like edited, the way it's directed, just the overall idea behind it is like fucking class. It's like seriously one of the coolest fucking things I've ever seen. Yeah, the first season especially. The first season was hands down one of the coolest fucking sci-fi things I've ever fucking seen. And then it did kind of go downhill from there, but not so much that I didn't want to finish it. I did finish it, and I was like, "Yeah, it's pretty good. It's pretty good." But if all seasons of it were like on the level of the first season, oh my god, it'd be one of the best things ever. But it was so cool. It was so cool. It was like Judge Dredd meets Minority Report meets like I don't fucking know. Like it was maybe like Blade. It was like Blade Runner mixed with Judge Dredd mixed with Minority Report or some shit. It was like seriously one of the fucking coolest things I've ever seen. But like you don't need the full frontal nudity. You don't need the fuck. Do you know what I mean? It's like I've spoken about this before. It's like you can like don't get me wrong. I mean, there's a part of me that like will never have a problem with seeing a really fine looking naked bitch. Like, you know what I mean? But, like, it's just like when it doesn't add to the story, there's just part of my brain that's like, why am I watching porn? I like, do you know what I mean? It's like if I wanted to watch porn, I'd watch porn. I'm not watching porn. I'm watching a sci-fi television show. Why is there porn in it? Like, race swapped him in season 2 as Netflix does. Yeah, but at least there was like some kind of mild, like it did kind of make sense with the whole body swapping thing. That like he literally couldn't get his old body back. But yeah, I didn't like that either. Cause like but not because of the race swapping thing. Because the white guy, the actor in the first, he's a really cool actor. Like he's really good. He's a really good actor. Like, it was one of the reasons I like the RoboCop remake. Is like, and Gary Oldman was fucking savage in it. Like, it's really fucking good. Like, do you know what I mean? And like, yeah, Netflix always wreck shit. Like, yeah, the set design was class. Set design was fucking class. Ugh, fuck. I always think it's funny when it's like newcomers to the stream. It'd be like, it must take this guy like 3 weeks to finish a painting. Sometimes it does. You're not wrong. Fucking. I'm gonna slap some tunes on. For the last of it. Part of me wants to keep going, but I don't know if the phone has the battery to do so. And I also am starting to get really hungry, so I want to cook dinner. So hang on, can I check the battery? 2 seconds. What's the battery? 40. Fuck that. Yeah, I could like I'll go like half. I'll do another hour. I'll stick some tunes on. Where's my tunes? I just want to read this. What if we're in tutorial mode and control is broken and the women effectively turn the tables on the men, forcing them into subservient roles instead? Never going to happen. Never going to happen. Women are fundamentally pathological, which kind of makes them a little bit retarded. I know there's intelligent women, but like, just like in general, women are fundamentally pathological. And like, I'm not being like, I'm just being real. They're biologically designed to be able to handle children and shit. So in order to do that, they need to relate to children on like a much deeper level than like a man can. Men like real men can typically, get frustrated with kids a lot quicker, so on and so forth. Like, do you know what I mean? It's like there has been some evidence of matriarchal societies, but I'm telling you now, you wouldn't want to live in one unless you like sharing your women. Do you know what I mean? Like, I know some guys would be okay with that. Do you know what I mean? Like, don't worry, I'll hit her from the back. You get the front. Maybe next time we'll swap. Like, do you know, it's like matriarchal societies. Like, part of me thinks that like there was never a matriarchal society, but like I wouldn't be surprised if there was. I also wouldn't be surprised if they've like just made up matriarchal societies for the purpose of like trying to make the argument that women could rule the world. And I've even posed the theory before that the reason why everything is so fucked up is because women, like at the top, like Illuminati style, like the hidden hand ruling everything from the shadows, might actually be a group of women. Because most men, myself included, are very susceptible to lust. So like I could see it happening, but long term, no. It's like total bullshit. Like, do you know what I mean? It's also way too like you also have the threat disparity. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, if you had me in a room unarmed with like 10 women unarmed, I could rip them all apart with my bare hands in minutes. Do you know what I mean? Like, and that's like I'm like 5'11", 70 odd kilos with like uh very, very basic, martial arts training. And I would argue you don't even need the martial arts training. Like, it's uh like I'm not trying to be a dick. I'm just being real. Like the idea that a real woman wouldn't want to be in charge. Do you know what I mean? Like a normal not fucked up woman doesn't want to be in charge. You know. Um. So the idea of a matriarchal society, in theory, maybe. Realistically, not a chance. Um. I like Anthony Mackie too as an actor, but Chris Connor was better. Was that the original RoboCop? Oh no, yeah, fuck! I was thinking of the Asian dude. They did make him black for a while. Yeah, your man, fucking Falcon or something from Marvel. Fucking Anthony Mackie. Yeah, same. I like Anthony Mackie. Yeah, he's cool. I like him. Um, but yeah, fucking Chris. Yeah, Chris Connor's fucking the guy who played RoboCop and the first season of Altered Carbon. Yeah, I think those are the only two things I've seen him in, and he's really, really, really good. The idea of he pulls off the action hero. He's perfect. He's perfect for the whole action hero role. I really liked the is it Edgar Allan Poe, the AI in the hotel, the guy playing the AI in the hotel. I really liked him. I thought he was class. I really like that character. His story arc and all was really cool. Really, really enjoyed it. Like, it's a fucking great series. It's definitely worth a watch. Like, it's obviously got its flaws. I mean, it's a fucking Netflix original. Like, do you know what I mean? Or is it? Is it a Netflix original, or is it just on Netflix? I can't remember. But yeah, it's got its flaws. Like pretty much everything that's been made in the last 15 odd years, it has its flaws. But it's fucking good. It's really worth a watch. Just for the concept alone. Like you said, the set design, like everything looks epic as fuck. It's really cool. It's really good. Um, is that an orange or a peach? Is that an orange? Fuck it. A wobbly H may be fun, but it's probably not sustainable long term. A wobbly H? Oh, fuck. Oh, a wobbly H, I guess. Yeah, that didn't sink in for a sec. Yeah. Nah. Nah, no way. Like that. Here's what's funny, right? Here's what's funny is like but anytime like because I used to like back in the day I used to watch like a lot of porn um like obviously watching porn in itself is like a gay act because like it also cooks you mentally and shit um but the whole idea of the Greek lovers, like, because that's like a thing in Greek mythology and shit and history and all, is like the Greek lovers where you have like two dudes, one of them's behind her, one of them's in front of her and shit, like, and she's got like one leg up or something, like, just fucking statues of it all over the place and all, like, um, that's those are weak men. Like those are like gay weak men. Do you know what I mean? Because like the whole idea, like, and think about the guy that's like fucking like the guy that's like behind her. So like, do you draw straws? Like, like it's just it's not supposed to go in that hole. Like, do you know what I mean? It's just wrong, you know. Like, don't get me, like, on a level, it's like all the other shit. Like, do you know what I mean? It's like, sure, like you might do it a few times in your life and enjoy it, or like have a bit of fun, but like the idea of it being a good thing or even a natural thing is fundamentally retarded. And I think, like, probably propaganda. Do you know what I mean? Like, that to me screams of propaganda of, like, maybe the situation was like there's way more men than women. So, like, sharing a woman's a good thing. Um, or like, or a matriarchal society where the woman is like revered to such a degree that like the man's position is so low that it's like you should you should be glad even to put it in her ass. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's there's no way. I don't think any part of me would like. Do you know what I mean? I don't think I could ever like. It wouldn't matter how incredibly beautiful she is. It wouldn't matter how like, you know, bro like I was with the other guy, or like, like, because I certainly wouldn't do it with a fucking stranger. Do you know what I mean? The idea that you could just like walk into a party and be like, "Oh yeah, fucking, you get the front, I'll get the back." Yeah, you're like, "Ugh, ugh." like, like one of them is always gonna like. They probably didn't, but like, you know, for hygiene reasons, the one from the back, the one hitting her from the back, is always going to be like, you know, right, I need to go have a bath now. And then like the one that's hitting her from the front is like, yeah, yeah, off you go, you dirty cunt. Like, you know, I'm gonna chill here with her, like, just keep shagging her. Like, it's like, it's just rank. Like, yeah, it's a kind of low degeneracy I couldn't abide, but it's fucking. There's so many things that so many of us have been convinced is like, oh, that's totally normal. That's totally normal. Like, do you know what I mean? It's like, no, it's fucking not. You know, and even if it was normal or accepted back then, like, knowing, like, that's what I think is funny about people. In your own life as an individual, right? A normal, balanced human being throughout your whole life, you make mistakes, you assess the situation, and part of you goes, yeah, that was wrong. I shouldn't do that. And you don't make the same mistake again. Or maybe you make the same mistake a few times, but you eventually cop on with a bit of self reflection and you're like, yeah, this isn't good for me. You know, as a species, we have all this fucking history that gives us the opportunity to look back at our ancestors and go, what the fuck were they thinking? You know, don't get me wrong, there's loads of stuff where you look back and you're like, oh my God, wow, that's like, why don't we do that anymore? That's really cool. That's an awesome form of technology. Wow, why don't we like do things like that still? And like look at all the cathedrals and shit. It's like, why don't we create stuff that's so beautiful that, like, anymore? Like, there's both. There's stuff that you look back in history and you go, never again. And then there's stuff that you look back in history and you like, it's not just nostalgia. There's like a tragedy of like, how did we lose that? Like, do you know what I mean? Like how did we have that at one stage and then lose it? Like, what the fuck? You forgot to tell me to plug my ears. You're the oldest one here that I know of. Like, you forgot to tell me to plug my. Just because you're a Jehovah's Witness doesn't mean you get to be a pussy. Like, Yeah, nothing is as it seems. Yeah. Developing a discerning mind is like so important. Okay. I prefer this version. It's a bit heavier. My favorite one is the fucking Clean Amongst the Filth though. Or is this Clean Amongst the Filth? Yeah, Clean Amongst Filth. Yeah. This was savage. Close my veins, footsteps sinking through, nothing remains. More I wait against decay, against the play. Ones that never cure. Scrape the grime, must endure. Must stand alone, not free. In this rotting, broken land, rivers black, the skies are gray. But filth won't take my soul away. Flies swarm thick, a living shroud. Rotten stenches scream so loud. My blade is sold, my shield the light. Against the darkness, I will fight. Strings wail sorrow, tablets quake. A fading calm before worlds break. Drums explode, symptoms crash. Chaos reigns, a sudden I stand alone, a clean man in this rotting, broken land. Rivers black, the skies are gray, but filth won't take my soul It's so Punjabi. love this bit. Fucking tunes, boy. remember that one. It was fucking class. Yeah, I'm thinking forest or jungle or something. Only on painting you will you experience more bangers than your local sausage stand. Oh, you're a funny fucker. Autocorrect gets us all, my friend. Hot. Yeah, that was savage. What was that called? Infernal something? What was that called? Shadows of the Infernal. Beethoven's metal. I forgot to descend into proper Pentingu posture. Glorious. Glorious. Oh yeah, fucking Iron Man burst. Swim, swim, run, run, bike. Oh, that's hilarious. Blood in my socks. More home. I totally forgot how hilarious this is. Motorbike. Does the painting goo still count, if not in Pepper Painting Goo? Well, if it didn't, there's a fuckload of them that don't count. That'd be tragic. Swim, swim, run, run, bike, more bike. That's so fucking funny. Was this another version of it, is it? Become Iron Man. Become Iron Man. The blood in my socks is hilarious. So funny. I was like, oh, what's this called? Untitled. Hilarious. Painting Goo. Right, my beloved Japonita. It is all I have time for today. I must bid thee farewell. Do not weep. There will be more goo. Tomorrow, 4 p.m. GMT. Same timer, same placer. More goo. Remember to smash that like button like it has insulted your ancestors. And if you have any honor, pay for painting goo. Scum! Filthy mortars. Right. Be good, be true, and be beautiful. And I shall see you soon. Enjoy the rest of your evening. And remember to pay for painting goo, or your ancestors will look upon you with great shame. Huh? Sayonara, my beloved Japonita, and to all you other filthy mortal scum. Goodbye.